Aaron Rodgers has finally been traded to the New York Jets. And instead of just talking about this trade, let's just do something different. Who won this trade? And don't give me a scapegoat answer. They both won. They both won. No, Jets, Packers. Who won the trade? Who lost the trade? Dehls, I'm gonna start with your biased opinion on the matter.
See, this is why I didn't want
It's
to have to start
impossible.
with Joel. This is why I didn't want to start with Joel, because let's talk to someone who's actually non-biased in the
Talk to me,
situation.
Joe, talk.
With love and admiration to you guys. You guys did a great job. You guys got Aaron Rodgers. You got one of the best quarterbacks all time. That's a win. But I look at the Packers and I think that they won more than you guys for the sole fact that they were already beyond the thought that Aaron Rodgers was going to be their quarterback. And they already had moved on to Jordan Love being their quarterback one. So in their minds, they already were trying they were already existing in a world where Aaron Rodgers was no longer their quarterback. That's already the reality that they had accepted. So now with that reality, now they traded an imaginary player for a first round, potentially another first round pick, which most likely will get transferred to another first round, a second round pick this year. To me, that's why I look at the Packers and think this is why they won. And especially with the idea that there's the fear. I'm very hopeful, as my guys are Jets fans, as my brothers. I don't want Aaron Rodgers to retire after this year, but God forbid, where he already had the idea in his head that he was going to retire. That's where fear starts to sit in if I'm a Jets fan. But the Packers already came to the realization, hey, Jordan Love's our quarterback. They were able to move a guy that wasn't going to play for them no more for 2 first-round picks, potentially two first-round picks. I believe it will be a first-round pick regardless, and a second-round pick. And you get a lot of that money off your cap. I think that if I'm the Packers, I'm looking at this as a W for sure.
You know, a lot of people tell me I'm one of the most unbiased analysts in the world. And the reason for that is because when it comes to subjects, I'm not biased. I call it how it is. I call it how I see it. When the Broncos traded for Russell Wilson, it was all sunshines and rainbows. I said, hey, wait a minute. Let's chill out. Let's chill out, right?
Yeah,
I was unbiased.
Defense, not Russ.
I was unbiased. I'm looking at this trade, and basically what the Packers got is a first-round pick and a second-round pick from this trade. Now, that first-round pick is a conditional second-round pick under the condition Rodgers plays 65% of snaps. It now becomes a first-round pick. The risk for the Jets is there. You know, there's a possibility Aaron Rodgers does not play in 2024. There's a possibility he is a one-year rental. The reward with Aaron Rodgers is that he leads the Jets to their first playoff appearance since 2010. We currently have the longest drought in sports history in appearing in the playoffs. So even a playoff appearance, I know everybody wants to jump to the conclusion of, well, Rodgers won't win you a Super Bowl. Oh, he's going to get eliminated in the playoffs. Well, we haven't even been there. I want to get there. So I'm happy with it ending like that. And also the possibility of us making a Super Bowl, because the Jets roster with Aaron Rodgers, with an upgrade at the 15th overall pick, we become one of the best rosters in the NFL. And I know people will speak on Aaron Rodgers' down season. The reality is the weapons weren't there. I'm not going to exonerate Rodgers from blame because he wasn't himself this year either. He wasn't. He didn't.
Will was coming at your neck on Twitter.
Well, Will's a
He
Vikings
was trying.
fan.
He was trying.
Will is a Vikings fan.
Yeah, these 300
You
yard
are
games
too.
is gross.
So are you.
I'm a Vikings enthusiast, not a Vikings fan.
Oh, my God.
Enthusiast is nuts.
When it comes to Aaron Rodgers, last year was not his best year. And I think it has more to do than just the weapons. I think he wasn't totally locked in with his receivers. Chemistry issues were apparent all over the field. The difference in my optimism for the Jets is rooted in Aaron Rodgers feeling motivated. Aaron Rodgers feeling unwanted by the Green Bay Packers because he thought he was going to be back as their quarterback. And then the Packers basically said, no, we're moving on. I think Aaron Rodgers being motivated, being committed to the Jets, the entire locker room changing their profile pictures to his college image. I think the locker room is going to be nothing but good vibes. And I think Aaron Rodgers is not only going to be a great mentor for our young players, but for our young quarterback in Zach Wilson, who could take over in 2025. Aaron Rodgers is going to be huge for the Jets, and we're going to make the playoffs. There's no doubt about it. I think the Jets win this trade in the short term 100%. The Packers, though, I want to shout them out because I think Brian Gutekunst getting a first round and a second round pick.
I said I don't want to hear the win-win bullshit. I want one answer or the other, and then here we go with the win-win bullshit.
I'm the most unbiased analyst in the world, Drew. What can I say? With the Packers, you guys know how high I am on Jordan Love. I think he's the future. I think Jordan Love's going to be a big-time great quarterback. I think there's a chance he's a top 5 quarterback in his conference this season. I think people are overlooking the Packers at winning this division. They can win the NFC North. Their defense is elite. We just did a mock draft. What if they get JSN, Christian Watson, Romeo Doubs, JSN? The offensive line is okay. AJ Dillon, Aaron Jones, Jordan Love. It's not out of the realm of possibility. He can play at the level that Aaron Rodgers played at in 2022. 91 passer rating for Jordan Love is doable in year 1. He can be even better. If they get that version with better chemistry with this locker room, the Packers can make the playoffs. And Jewel, you're laughing, you're smiling. I've let you off the hook with Jordan Love a lot of times.
Bro, what? I acknowledged I wasn't a fan of his. I still am not overly a fan.
We know that you're Mr. Flip Aside when it comes to Jordan Love. We know it used to be crapping on him. Now you're praising him whenever you got the chance because you have some money invested.
That's not true.
In Mojo.
That's not true. Yo, I tell you what, we cashed out yesterday. I was geeked up. Listen, I'm not fully in on the Jordan Love train. I need to see it. All right, I'm not a believer. I'm not a hater.
I'm the driver. I'm the driver of the Jordan Love train. I have old clips of both of you motherfuckers calling Jordan Love trash. So listen, I don't want to hear people
trash. What do you want me to say?
Terrible against the Chiefs. He was dog shit.
You say unbiased opinion, right? This was our unbiased opinion. He did not look.
You can't call somebody trash when you barely saw him play. You can't. You assumed it.
Yeah.
You assumed it.
He was terrible against
Aaron Rodgers.
But you can't call him nice either, right?
Aaron Rodgers, the Packers front office. Aaron Rodgers and the Packers front office, they also saw a sizable leap from Jordan Love this past season. It was apparent in that Eagles game. It was a small sample size, but he looked spectacular. He looked better than Aaron Rodgers did that entire game in 2 drives. And I look at Aaron Rodgers. Last year, he ranked 17th in passer rating, 26th in QBR. Jordan Love in his first full year as a starter, to ask him to be better than the 17th ranked passer rating quarterback and better than the 26th ranked QBR quarterback is not this monumental task. Jordan Love can be better. And I'm trying to just say that the Packers they can rebuild fast. They have the assets. And I know I gave a perspective on the Jets and how they could win the trade, but the Packers won this trade. And the Packers won because Jordan Love, to me, is that guy. And I think they're going to rebuild this roster that much better. And their future has a much better outlook than the Packers than the Jets it does. Because the Jets, although I love the Jets, I love the Aaron Rodgers move. After he goes, let's say he does retire after this season. In 2024, we don't have a quarterback. And we don't have high draft capital to draft one.
Zach Wilson.
Joel. Zach.
What happened to Zach Wilson? You just told me that he's the quarterback of the future, 2025.
Shut up.
And that Aaron Rodgers was going to be a great mentor to Zach Wilson. I thought that it was running the stars.
Yeah.
Bro, he said that he was the next Jordan Love.
All my eggs are not in that basket anymore. All right?
Oh, my God.
You took some of the eggs out?
So that
really
means
are
listen,
a pancake.
The eggs in the basket right now are broken. Yolk is in them. And I'm just hoping something's restored.
It's a messy basket.
Fine, God.
It's a gross basket.
But Jordan Love will be that guy. And I know NFC North team fans don't want to hear it. Bears fans thinking they're up next. Lions fans thinking they're up next. Vikings fans thinking they're in the same place that they are. The Packers.
You know what?
Sleep on the Packers.
One part about the Packers return that I think is pretty notable is them moving up 2 spots to leap over New England because ironically, after never drafting a quarterback Aaron Rodgers in the first round, they would take one the first year after they trade him, kind of like when the Seahawks finally draft offensive lineman once they trade Russ. And if you have your pick of any wide receiver, maybe a Jack Smith and Jigma to pair up with Christian Watson, that could be pretty special. But I don't think the Packers are winners here. And the real reason why is, though you get a good return, probably a first and a top 45 pick to go along with that. If the Packers traded Aaron Rodgers a year ago, what do you guys think it would have got?
Before the season, coming off back-to-back MVPs, you're
The same package
multiple
for Russ.
guaranteed first.
The same package for Russ.
Multiple firsts.
So you
major
wait through the
picks.
season to win 7-8 games with Aaron Rodgers, not make the playoffs at all, which was a pretty bad goodbye. And then you traded him for many less first-round picks than what you would have gotten a year ago. I felt like that was a pretty bad job by Brian Gutekunst. And then you talk about what they got for Devontae Adams. They used that pick on Quay Walker. So, like, if you could have gotten 3 or 4 first-round picks for Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams, and you instead parlayed that into Quay Walker, a linebacker, and maybe one first down the line, I think that's a massive, massive L. Now, for the Jets, part of the good news here is that you keep a top 15 pick so you can get that right tackle. I don't know if Max Mitchell is that, but the good part about it is if Mekhi Becton stays healthy next year with Laken Tomlinson and Elijah Vera Tucker coming back, that Jets offensive line can be really good, just depending on do you hit on that 15th overall pick, and also does Becton stay healthy. Dehls, I think you're showing me some picks that he's slimmed down a little bit. Maybe
He has. He looks
Look,
the
Mekhi
most fit
Becton,
I've ever seen him.
this is the year.
This got to be it.
And also, I think it's unfair to say that the Packers could have gotten more for Aaron Rodgers last year. I mean, the Packers were in a position where it was, I'm retiring or I'm playing for the Jets. I think getting a first and a second round pick for him is a good return given those.
That's a
circumstances.
W. That is a
That
huge
is
That's
W.
not bad.
To be sure.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
I think Joel. Sorry, John. Did you have more to say? I didn't want to cut you off. Gotcha. Joel, you just went on like an 8-minute spiel and gave 7 minutes of Packers analysis and 1 minute of Jet analysis. It's impossible to say who won this trade because I really do think it was a win for both sides. It's a fair deal. It always felt like this is what it was going to be. It was going to be a second-round pick this year and a conditional first next year. I thought the condition was going to be based on the Jets' performance, as Drew has his Jets football. I thought it was going to be based on the Jets' success. If they get to the playoffs, if they win a playoff game, that will be the escalator to make it a first-round pick. Instead, it's the 65% of Aaron Rodgers playing the offensive snaps for the Jets, and I think that's fair. If he's playing 65% of the snaps, that means he's missing maybe a couple of games. The Jets should be in playoff contention. Last year, when I know very small sample, and Joel hates Mike White, but when we saw a backup level quarterback in, we saw what the Jets team could do. Zach Wilson was by far the worst quarterback in the NFL we had seen. Doesn't matter if it's a starter, backup, or third-string level guy. He was the worst quarterback in the NFL last year. Now you get Aaron Rodgers, who is he the top 3 guy he used to be? Probably not, but he's not outside the top 10, and he is still fantastic. And with these weapons, with Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall coming back, you still have Corey Davis. You got your boy Alan Lazard he has familiarity with, and he has Nathaniel Hackett, who he had his most success with, now the offensive coordinator. So I think for the Jets, it was the only move, and it was the move they had to get done. You have Rodgers now, and of course the playoffs is what you want to get to as the first stop, but you don't trade these picks for a 39-year-old quarterback and don't think Super Bowl. I think that inside the Jets locker room, that's what Robert Saleh is going to be preaching. That's going to be the vibe around the locker room. It's a bunch of young guys, a bunch of guys who still want to go out and prove that they deserve to be in this league. You have a few vets there. Quinnen, I think, is a vet at this point. CJ Mosley, but a lot of young guys. And to John's point, this offensive line is able to stay healthy, specifically Mekhi Becton, because AVT, for the most part, his rookie year, he was healthy, had a weird injury against Denver this season. If Mekhi is able to stay healthy, you draft a tackle at 15, you have a wall for Aaron Rodgers, and you have all of the weapons he could possibly want. I mean, Garrett Wilson could be a top 10 receiver this year. He just put up 1,100 yards with nothing at quarterback. You have good pieces around him. So I think this is an absolute win for the Jets. People are saying it's an overpay. This always felt like what it was going to be to me. I never thought they were going to trade a 3rd and 5th round pick, and that was going to be the Aaron Rodgers package. It always felt like it was going to be a second this year and a future first. So I think this is what had to get done.
Hey, guys.
Hey, Riv. What's up, man? How are you?
You know, Drew, when I say you're the NFL me, I truly mean that. You having Denver gear on and a Jets football in your hand is just fucking crazy to me.
Bro, it was a gift. Actually, it wasn't a gift. I won it at a carnival, bro.
Yeah. Don't care anymore. Win-win for both sides. I look at it like the Jets' goal was to get a new quarterback. The Jets' goal was to get a better quarterback. The Jets' goal was to get a great quarterback in this market. They got that. Green Bay's goal was just to get Aaron Rodgers off the team, maybe save some money, get some draft capital. that's the end goal. I look at both teams, and they're in a pretty peculiar space. I feel like you guys touched on a lot of the Packers' goals and what they're going to do in their roster, and the Jets' goals, what they're going to do with the roster. But I look at the divisions, and it's such a peculiar spot that they're going into. I mean, to talk about the Jets, they get Aaron Rodgers. Miami has improved. New England's kind of in the mud. Buffalo's still hanging around. That's a tough division to be in. And now you saw Miami bring in Jalen Ramsey. Now you bring in Aaron Rodgers. The goal should be Super Bowl or bust. But like Joel said, for a team that hasn't made the playoffs in 10, 11 years, that's just tough to go from not making the playoffs to automatically jumping to a Super Bowl. And you don't even know if Aaron's going to be there for the next season. But you saw what this team can do defensively in any game. Offensively, they got weapons out there. They just need a quarterback. And Aaron Rodgers, like you mentioned it, is still a top 10 quarterback in the NFL, probably top 8, top 7. He's still an elite quarterback, and that's all you need from him, to be elite, to be that guy to make clutch plays. As far as the Packers concerned, it had to happen. Like, you had to let Jordan Love get the team. You had to let Jordan Love shine. You picked him up. It was about time to eventually let him play.